Imagine that you could visit a planet where everyone has a different kind of emotional mind. The way they relate to each other is always in happiness, always in love, and always in peace. And now imagine that one day you will wake up on this planet and no longer have any wounds in your emotional body. You are no longer afraid to be who you are. Whatever someone says about you, whatever they do, you don't take it personally, and it doesn't hurt anymore. You no longer need to protect yourself, and you are not afraid to love, to share, or to open your heart. But no one else is like you. How can you relate with people who are emotionally wounded and sick with fear? Today, I'm going to talk about something you might not think about very often. And that's the question, who are you? And now you can think, who am I? Well, I'm Dave, I'm 20 years old, but no, not like that. I'm not asking for your name the parents gave you or the years you are alive. Who are you really? And now you will probably switch to the things you do. You operate people as a profession, you will probably say I'm a surgeon. But no, I don't want to hear that either. Those are just experiences and things you do. But then again, who are you without all that? And then there was silence. You see, when you were born, you were given a name, but you were not much more than that. You didn't have a boss with events that define you. You didn't have goals, labels, habits, or opinions, but you were still there. You were just experiencing. And as you grow up, you learn how to talk. And from that moment on, you are flooded with information about the world around you, and especially how this world works. What you can and cannot do, but also how you should behave within the culture in which you grow up. This is of course different per culture, and therefore also the reason you would be a completely different person if you were to grow up in China. And besides these norms and values and the things you learn at school, something else plays a huge role in the way you see yourself. The opinions of others. When you grow up and have not yet developed a strong personality, you are extremely vulnerable to everything others tell you. This is because you don't know who you are yet. You are still learning this. So when someone tells you the same thing over and over again in this vulnerable period, you can start to believe this. The image you create as a result can be quite disturbed, and you can be the prettiest girl in class, but if you always hear from that one jealous girl that you are ugly, you can start to believe that. And in addition to these opinions, there are countless ways we identify with our name. Think of the people you interact with, events, or even traumatic experiences. This all contributes to the way you see yourself. It forms some kind of layer that you would carry around every single day, a mask or a lens through which you see the world. Sigmund Freud called this image you create for yourself the ego. It is your conscious mind, the part of your identity that you consider to be you, and it is formed in your childhood. Now, I want you to imagine that this image has become extremely negative. Due to circumstances, you have come to believe that you are ugly, stupid, mediocre, and actually not that special or worth much. Your thoughts are a constant stream of confirmation of this, and nobody tells you otherwise. And even if they do, you don't believe them. How would you feel? It's a pretty dark image, and when these things come to mind every single day, it's no wonder that after a while you start seeing everything through an increasingly gray lens. For a year, you have seen the world in this way, gloomy, hopeless, all magic is lost. You have developed depression, and this disturbed image has become your reality. But now imagine that you wake up from this dream, and in 1 second this negative image that you had created for yourself has disappeared. Poof! The color is back, your mask is falling off, and you know deep inside that you are worth so much more than you've ever dared to dream. When you look in the mirror, you feel a sense of strength and love, an indescribable amount of love. Love for yourself, love for others, you cannot comprehend it, you didn't even know it was possible, and it's the best thing that ever happened to you. But how are you going to explain this feeling to others? It's something you've never felt before. And the only descriptions that comes close to this feeling is heavenly or divinity. The shame is gone, opinions of others do not bother you because you live for yourself, and the feeling of love overtakes you, experiencing everything at once. That is what you want. You begin to draw, be creative, exercise, read. Your mask is falling off, and one thing is clear: the old reality is no longer. The old you is no more. But how is this possible? What makes that the old me? Was it real? Who was that? And why was I like that? It almost felt like it wasn't me. It was negative, hopeless, gloomy. It was just like the devil was in me. And is it also in others? My name is Amber. I'm 23 years old, and through this experience, I got the label psychosis. In many Eastern cultures, this experience is described as an ego death, literally loss of my ego. But in my culture, this is called a psychosis, literally described as losing touch with reality. But the way the old, depressive Amber saw the world, was it real? My reality was disturbed. My thoughts were constantly negative, and I behaved in the way everyone knew. I fit in with society, a society in which it seems normal not to love yourself. And when I found out that the old Amber was nothing more than a composition of experiences and thoughts, nothing was left of me. But yeah, try to explain that. Unfortunately, I did not yet have this knowledge while experiencing my psychosis, but I still tried to explain it. What are you without a clear image of yourself? Is this even explainable? My explanation for this was mainly God and the devil, because at that moment I simply didn't know any better. It was confusing, scary, beautiful, and it changed the view of my life forever. And now, a few years later, I am ready to share this story and hopefully contribute to the negative stigma surrounding this topic. Because what in one culture is seen as a mental illness is an aim in the other. Buddhists meditate for years to attain Bodhi, the state of enlightenment. And we punish the confused person and throw them into isolation. What I hope to achieve is that we can all listen to each other a little bit more, to the patients without judgments, and to other cultures with an open mind. Very often. And that's the question, who are you?